Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine. So dear students, in this video we are going to discuss A Thing of Beauty by John Keats, poem 5th in your Flamingo English Reader book. So let's begin. First of all, we are going to discuss about the poet. John Keats was an English romantic poet. He was one of the main figures of the second generation of romantic poets, along with Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley. John Keats was born in London in the year 1795 and died. John Keats was born in London in the year 1795 and died in Rome in 1821 at the young age of 25 due to illness. Although trained to be a surgeon, Keats decided to devote himself wholly to poetry. He was trained to be a surgeon even though he devoted himself to poetry. He is a romantic poet and his poetry is characterized by sensual imagery. In his most popular work, which is a series of odes, Ode to a Nightingale, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Today, his poems are one of the most sought after creations in English literature. The above given poetry is an excerpt from his poem Endymion, a poetic romance which was written in 1818, considered to be an epic poem. So the excerpt, the poem A Thing of Beauty, which we are going to read, it has been taken from Endymion, an epic poem of John Keats. Background of the poem: John Keats published his first epic poem Endymion in 1818. It is a narrative poem about the relationship between a goddess and her human lover. The poem is based on the Greek myth of Endymion, the shepherd who falls in love with the moon goddess Selene, whom the poet renames Cynthia. This extract, A Thing of Beauty, talks how beautiful things give us pleasure and alleviate suffering and sorrow. The epic poem Endymion begins with the famous line, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." Theme of the poem. The poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats conveys the message that beauty is everywhere and upon examination may be found. The theme of this work is largely centered on nature, as were many of Keats' works. In this particular poem, Keats describes the effect that beauty can have on a person. According to Keats, this beauty never diminishes and its effect is felt long after it is gone. Keats emphasizes that beauty is made for our searching, meaning that some people may find beauty in places that others may not. The theme of this poem is that beauty can be found everywhere and when appreciated can be used to raise your spirit in times of glooms. Now, first, now vocabulary, you must note down these words and their meanings in your notebook. You can take the screenshot right now, and the same must be written in your textbook too. Okay? Before you read, what pleasure does a beautiful thing give us? Are beautiful things worth treasuring? So, dear students, beautiful things may differ person to person. Some of you may like natural things, may love seeing natural beauty. Some of you may like a beautiful person, so it varies from person to person. It is not like that if something which you like a beautiful one, the other one may also like the same thing as you like. It depends on the person. So the beauty differs from person to person. Someone like natural beauty, someone may love mountains, rivers. Okay. So after seeing these images, you must have imagined that this poem is based on beautiful things. It talks about beautiful things. Poem text and explanation. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. So here, dear students, the poet talks about how beautiful things give us immense pleasure, give us health. It removes sadness from us. The poet says that a thing of beauty is a joy forever. A beautiful thing always gives us joy. Its loveliness increases. Attraction towards it always keep increasing. It will never pass into nothingness. A beautiful thing never becomes zero. It will never destroy. Its beauty keeps on increasing. It provides a sleep, a sweet dream, and health and peaceful breathing to human being. A beautiful thing is a source of eternal joy. Its attractiveness grows with the passage of time and its impact never fades away. It is as pleasant as a cool, quiet bower or sound sleep with sweet dreams or robust health and mental peace. It provides the beholder with a haven of tranquility and solace. Now next stanza. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirit. Okay. So further, the poet says that on every morrow, here morrow means next morning, tomorrow. Morrow means tomorrow. Okay. So therefore, on every tomorrow, on every next day, are we reading a flowery band? We are reading a flowery band. We are making a flowery band of beautiful things which bind us to this earth. Which earth? Which is full of despondence, which is full of lack of hopeness in human, like this earth which is lacking humanity, which is lacking noble natures, which is having gloomy days. So these beautiful things, they bind us to this earth. Actually the poet wants to say that the earth is full of negativity. There is a lot of negativity around us. This pandemic era is the fine example of negativity. Okay, so this pandemic time is full of negativity, but even though our life is going on, so because of what? Because of our hope, because of positivity. So according to the poet, this positivity we get from the nature. Okay, it is nature which makes us keep going. So here the earth gives us the beautiful things which removes despondent, spiteful place or harsh human behavior. Every day, human beings face gloomy days and darkness. The world has a lot of negativity, hatred and greed, and there is dearth of noble souls. There is lack of noble souls. According to the poet, the cause of gloom and sadness is this negativity. We often find ourselves in the midst of gloom. Moreover, one can fade away these negative vibes with the help of beautiful things that surround us. A thing of beauty helps remove the dark cloud that burdens our souls. Hence, the poet says that we human beings each day create an ornate band made of all the lovely things which we see. This band keeps us bound to the despondent earth as we would otherwise be hopeless. Now here these are some example of beautiful things. In this picture you can see the example of beautiful things: the sun, the moon, the flowers, rivers. In the next stanza, the poet gives the same example. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheeps, and such are daffodils, with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves cooling covered make against the hot season. The mid-forest brake rich with the sparkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. All lovely tales we have heard or read, an endless mountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from heaven's brink. Further, the poet John Keats says that the earth provides us beauty in the form of the sun, the moon, these trees. These are beautiful things. The sun, the moon, the trees, young and sprouting shady boons for simple sheep, which provide a shelter for sheep, and rivers, they provide coolness. Okay, and these flowers which provide beautiful smell, beauty. So because of these beautiful things, the existence of human being human beings is possible on this earth. If earth does not provide these beautiful things, then the existence of human beings can't be imagined on this earth. Further, the poet says the tale of the powerful people, it also encourages us to keep going. So all these things are like immortal drink which are being provided by this nature to us. So here the poet describes the beautiful things which are present on earth. These are the sun, moon, trees, flowers and the rivers. Poet says that all these things are like a blessing bestowed on all the creatures by earth. He further describes that the trees provide us with their shade, flowers with their beauty and rivers with their coolness during the hot summers. All of these are the beauties of nature which are like a boon for us. The poet carries on with the description of the more beautiful things present on earth, such as the beautiful musk roses which have such a nice fragrance. Then he describes the tales of the mighty warriors who laid their lives for their countries or for humanity. He says that these beautiful things are the gifts from God for all of us. They are like a nectar given by God to us, and these are those beauties which are immortal and give us a reason to live on this earth despite having so many sorrows in our life. Now, literary devices used in this poem. Rhyme scheme AABBC, forever, never AA, keep, sleep BB, and breathing C. Alliteration, use of consonant sound at the start of two words which are close in series. For example, sleep, sweet. Metaphor, bore quiet, which stands for calmness of the boar is compared to the calming effect of beautiful things. Stanza 2, anaphora, use of some two consecutive lines of noble natures, of all the unhealthy. So here these two consecutive lines starting with same word of. So that is why anaphora here. Alliteration, use of consonant sound at the start of two words which are close in series. For example, B in band bind and N in noble nature, S in some shape. Metaphor, reading a flowery band, it means the beautiful things of our life bind us to the earth. Imagery, creating a sensory effect of beautiful things lined up in a string, a flowery band to bind us. Inversion, normal order of the words is reversed. So, are we reading a flowery band? So, it should be in this order, we are reading a flowery band. But the poet has written, are we reading a flowery band? So, it is inversion. So, such poetic devices in which order of the words are changed, they are called inversion. Alliteration in stanza 3. Alliteration, use of consonant sound at the start of two words which are close in series. I in that themselves, C in cooling covered, and H in have her. Imagery, trees giving shade, sprouting shady boon, growing process of daffodils with the green world they live in, clean river streams, that is clear rills. So they are giving the image of these things. That is why imagery has been used here. And antithesis, opposite words placed together, old and young. When two opposite words are placed together, it is called antithesis. Metaphor, once again metaphor here, immortal drinks stands for beautiful objects of nature are forever like a never ending portion of a dream. Rhyme scheme is used in every stanza of the poem, forever, never, keep, sleep, dead, red, etc. Imagery, bushes of musk roses, sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, books describes valor of fighters, grandeur, mighty dead, good God providing us with best things, pouring from the heavens bring. So these are giving us the images of these things, so that is why it is imagery. Now these are the questions for you. You must go through these questions and write their answers in your notebook. List the things of beauty mentioned in the poem. List all the things that cause suffering and pain. What does the line, therefore, are we reading a flowery band to bind us to earth suggest to you? What makes human beings love a life in spite of troubles and suffering? Why is grandeur associated with the mighty dead? Do we experience things of beauty only in short moments, or do they make a lasting impression on us? What image does the poet use to describe the beautiful bounty of the earth? Some more questions based on stanza which you must practice. It is based on the first stanza. Read the stanzas given below and answer the questions that follow. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Questions: name the poem and the poet of these lines. How is a thing of beauty is a joy forever? What do you understand by a bower? So what kind of sleep does it provide? Now more questions. After writing answers, you can match your answers, but the answers which you will be writing should be in your words. Okay? Now next stanza, it has also been asked in All India Examination 2014. Therefore on every morrow are we reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the human dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of the unhealthy and over-darkened ways made for our searching, yes, in spite of all. So why are we despondent? What removes the pall from our dark spirits? What are we doing every day? Okay, I am just showing you the answers, but you should rewrite these answers in your own words. Okay, so it's all about the poem. We have discussed each and everything about the poem. So thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. We will be discussing some more questions from this poem in the coming videos.